Hi, this is season 2 of Raga Chords. My name is Karthik Sekran, and today we'll talk about Sindhu Bhairavi. Sindhu Bhairavi is a raga which has originated from Carnatic music but has found its place in both Carnatic as well as Hindustani music systems. It is a Sampurna raga, which means that it has 7 notes going up and 7 unique notes coming down. But it is a Janya raga. Most people claim that Sindhu Bhairavi is derived from Hanumatodi, which has a flat re, a flat ga, a flat dha and a flat ni, and a regular ma. And then there are many people who say it is derived from Nataka Priya, which is basically Hanumatodi but with a regular dha. All of that doesn't matter much. What matters is this. Sindhu Bhairavi is a Bhashanga raga. Now Bhashanga means that the use of notes outside the Arohanam and Avrohanam are acceptable. You'll remember the Khamas episode where I said that even though Khamas has the flat ni in the Arohan and Avrohan, the use of regular ni is quite common and is widely accepted. Now that is an example of Bhashanga raga. Now, most Bhashanga ragas have 1, maybe 2 notes which you can render which are outside the Arohan and Avrohan. But with Sindhu Bhairavi, all 12 notes are acceptable, which makes this raga very interesting, very flexible, and probably very difficult to render. So let's talk about the structure of this raga. The Arohanam goes something like this. Sa re ga. That's a regular re with a flat ga. Sa re ga ma ga pa da ni sa. The dha and ni are both flat. And the Avrohanam is like this. Sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa. It's almost the same, but the re is flat now. So it has 2 different re's. The regular re while going up and the flat re while coming down. Let's repeat the Arohanam and Avrohanam once more. Sa re ga ma ga pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa ni sa. Now as I said before, even though these are the notes in the Arohanam and Avrohanam, the use of notes other than these is acceptable. But then there are some combinations which are very common. Now from the Arohanam and Avrohanam, we have sa re ga re sa ni sa. That is very common. Sa re R2, ga re R1, sa ni sa. Same way you can do it around the dha. Pa dha, that's the regular dha, which is not as part of the Arohanam and Avrohanam. Pa dha ni da pa. Pa ni da pa. That is also very common. Sometimes the use of Pratimadhyama or Tivrama, pa ma, that is also there. And then sometimes the regular ni, sa ni sa. So you can see that there are so many possibilities with this raga. So from a chord perspective, believe it or not, it actually makes our life simpler because it's now wide open. You can play literally any chord. So let's take this opportunity to understand what chords are played for any given melody. Let's jump straight to it. So, as usual, key of C, sa pa sa. Now the Arohanam is sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. Avrohanam sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. So you can see we are going like this on the Arohanam and coming back like this. So sa re ga re sa ni sa. That is very common. Now, as I said, this is a Bhashanga raga, so the use of notes outside what I played right now is quite acceptable. But there are some combinations which are more common. So for example, the regular dha, which is the same pattern that we did here, the same thing. That is quite common in Sindhu Bhairavi. So from the chords point of view, let's start making triads and you will see that we have a C minor, we have a D flat, that's in the Avrohanam, D flat. We have an E flat major. We also have a D diminished. We'll also have a G minor, which we can play here as well, G minor. We have an F minor, we have again a G minor, then we have an A flat major, a B flat major, and a B flat minor as well. And if this dha gets used, the regular dha, we also have an F major sound coming in. So let's understand what is the basis for playing chords for a particular tune. So let's take a song example. A very classic Carnatic song in Sindhu Bhairavi is Venkatachala Nilayam, which is by Sri Purandaradasa. It's a very popular song. Everyone who's been exposed to Carnatic music knows this song, or at least have heard about it. So let's try and do some chord formations for that melody. Sa. It starts with a higher sa, okay? Venkatachala Nilayam. You see how I'm matching my vocals with the chords. Venkatachala Nilayam Vaikuntha Puravasam. It's quite a quick change, so you might decide not to do that at all. Venkatachala Nilayam Vaikuntha Puravasam, because that moves very quickly from that re. So you will notice that the chords are played according to what the melody follows. And if you really think about it, each of these chords has 3 notes, which means if your melody has one of those notes, that particular chord is going to sound good with it. So that's the simplest trick to play chords for any given melody. So Venkata, that's a sa. So sa pa sa. So let's keep it lower sa. So C minor will work very well. Even a Venkata, that will also work well. This is a A flat major because it has the sa in it. Venkatachala Nilayam. Let me play it here. Venkatachala Nilayam. Nilayam. That's this note, that's the ma. So you can see that at Nilayam I'm changing it to a chord which has the ma in it. I can also probably do a D flat. Let's try that. Venkatachala Nilayam. Sounds good. Venkatachala Nilayam. That also sounds good. So you see, in any 7-note scale, because there are 3 notes to every chord, you will actually have 3 chord options for every note. So if you are singing a sa, you will have, say in this case, you will have a C minor is an option. You also have a flat major as an option. Okay, and you will also have a chord which has the sa at the higher end, which is an F minor. Yeah, there you go. It has a sa at the higher end, right? So these 3 chords are applicable whenever you are singing a sa. So that's the basis for forming chords. So let's resume Venkatachala Nilayam. Venkatachala Nilayam Vaikuntha Puravasam. Now the lines after that are Pankajanetram Paramapavitram. Now there they do a variation. Pankajanetram Paramapavitram. That's where the regular da comes. Pada. So I changed to an F major because F major has the dha in it. I can try playing this, but this ga is not used that much, so this doesn't sound that great, but this sounds nice. I can probably try and use an F7 or a D minor, but again D minor doesn't sound that great, so that's why I am using a F major. Pankajanetram Paramapavitram Shankachakradhara Dhara. So that note is here, so that's why I'm using this A flat. Dhara Shankha Chakra Dhara Chinmaya Rupam Chinmaya Rupa. So I'm using a G minor. Chinmaya Rupa, but sticking to the scale. Chinmaya. I can do that because technically this raga is Bhashanga and all 12 notes are acceptable. This might give a very interesting feel to it, but I decided to do a G minor. It's up to me. So Shankha Chakra Dhara Chinmaya Rupam Venkatachala Nilayam Vaikuntha Puravasam. Now that's another example of using a Puravasam. This actually is a variation which is quite commonly done in this song in Sindhu Bhairavi. So you go Venkatachala Nilayam Vaikuntha Puravasam. So I decided not to play any chord there because it is too quick a change for me to play a chord there. So I just moved from an F minor back to a C minor. Venkatachala Nilayam Vaikuntha Puravasam. That's the original one. Vaikuntha Puravasam. But you can also sing Vaikuntha Puravasam. You can see how interesting this raga is. So many possibilities. Venkatachala Nilayam Vaikuntha Puravasam. So you see this raga has so many possibilities, and it being Bhashanga, there are so many outside the raga notes which come in and they kind of play very nicely with it. So some film song examples. Manamohana from Jodha Akbar is an amazing song with some incredible orchestration, and it has a very strong Sindhu Bhairavi influence, particularly in the interlude music. Na, 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 na. See, it changes so much then. So that's all the Sindhu Bhairavi magic. Ilayaraja song example. Sorunalu mune maravaga naranara tararara taranara nararara nana naranara narana. Sindhu Bhairavi. Shenbhagame, Shenbhagame. It's actually sung by Asha Bhosle ji. That's where the regular re comes in. Shenbhagame, that is also a classic Ilayaraja song. So let's try and do a quick improv here. Na 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 So that was Sindhu Bhairavi. It's a beautiful raga, a little difficult to render because of all the options that we have. From a chord's point of view, you are again spoiled for choice. There are so many options because the melody keeps moving. The key thing to remember when you are playing chords for any melody in any raga is to listen to the dominant sound at that particular instant. What is that note which is evidently heard? Once you figure that out, you know you have 3 chord options to play for that particular melody at that point. Sometimes all 3 of them work well, sometimes it's just one of those that work well. So play around, find out which chord works well for your melody, and you're good to go. So I hope you found this episode useful. It's a little different from our regular Raga Chords episode because I spoke more about the chord construction and how to go about playing chords for any given melody. Thanks to Sindhu Bhairavi, I was able to do that. So I hope you find use for these chords. I hope you practice. I hope you try to compose melodies in Sindhu Bhairavi because they are going to sound amazingly beautiful. So with that, we have come to the end of season 2 of Raga Chords. Thank you so much for all the love and appreciation. I'll see you all in the next season.
Color.